back from taking this Audi TT on a test ride after replacing the clutch cable and the bleeder block, and I guess the clutch. Okay, so I'm in here on this Audi TT, and I'm trying to replace the clutch hose. I got this new stainless steel clutch hose, and I also have this aluminum block, bleeder block. And the bleeder block's pretty straightforward. It's right there, and so you just pull these little clips out, pull this out, put it back in, and then bleed the clutch. So the hose is a little more complicated. So it starts off here, and then it goes underneath the engine mount, and then goes somewhere up behind there, and then goes to the clutch pedal. So you got to start off by removing the battery, take the battery out, take your air box out, and then what I did is I loosened the strut brace in order to get this cap off. You kind of feed it through this hole here, and then you got to take this piece off here, and how you do that is you just pull this tab and then lift it up, and then it'll kind of wiggle and slide out of the way. And then if you look all the way down in there, okay, this is gonna be a little hard to see, but let me try and get in. And I'm working at night, so I don't have a lot of light, but this is where your battery's supposed to be. This is where your air box is supposed to be. Right here you see the inlet hose. This is that bracket I just took off, and way down in there, that right there is, let me try and focus on it. That right there in the middle of your picture, in the middle of the screen, is your clutch cable, where it connects to the clutch master cylinder. And there's a little pin that's coming out, holds it in a little spring clip, and you got to pull that out, and then the cable will come out through the bottom. So what I'm going to do is take my new hose. Where is it? Where's my new hose? Let me look for it. Okay, so here's my new hose, and there's a side, it's labeled master. So this goes through the master cylinder. So I'm going to feed it through underneath the engine mount, and then up the other side, and then just have it ready so that when I pull that pin out, I can feed this one in and then clip it in, and hopefully not make too big of a mess. But definitely going to lose a lot of fluid, so just be sure that you have plenty of brake fluid in there, and we'll try and swap this out. Okay, so what you want to do is use like a little pick tool and get that little spring clip started, so you can see just the tip of it right there sticking out. And then I really like these. It's a pair of locking forceps, and I'm gonna take that pin, squeeze it, and it'll lock, and then I can pull it out without losing that spring. So let's give that a try. I might have to use two hands to do it, so let me go ahead and try and get it and then come back. All right, so I think you can see it. I've got it pulled in, and so once you get it, that spring out, you just pull the cable out. And again, just to give you for reference, this is the front of the car. Battery goes here, airbox is here, and again, the cable routes underneath this engine mount, and it goes up underneath your ABS sensor, and then there's the cable right there. You can see the white label of where the new stainless steel clip goes. And so it took a bit of a effort to get it in and then get it seated properly. And what I found the best thing to do was this sort of 90-degree set of pliers, and I was able to reach underneath and just pull the cable and pop it and seat it in, and then push that spring clip in. And so it's the same on this side when we do the bleeder block. Is you pull this spring, excuse me, yeah, this spring clip, and let me get this out of the way. You pull this spring clip, and again, the cable just pulls out. So I'm going to replace this bleeder block with an aluminum one. So I'm going to pull that clip right there. And again, you just use a little pick tool. You pull it, and don't pull too hard because it doesn't need to come all the way out. It just needs to come up, and then it'll lock in the open position, upright position, and then you can just wiggle it out. And now it's out, and let me go get the new one, put the new one in. Okay, so here's my new bleeder block. And unfortunately, these springs do not stay locked in when you pull them up. So just be careful when you're pulling them out not to lose these. So again, installation is the reverse of removal. So put a new O-ring on and just lube it with a little brake fluid. Help it not get pinched as you put it in. So let me get that in. Okay, that's seated good. We get one of these springs on there. I think it's gonna take me a couple hands, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now the bleeder block is in, and this is a check valve. So once you get the Schrader valve opened and attach it to a hose, the fluid only comes out one way, it won't go back the other way. So it's a one-man bleed. So let me go ahead and bleed the brake system, the clutch system. And again, so if you just follow this cable, I'm going to take a look underneath, see if it needs to attach to anything, maybe zip tie it to a couple things. But it comes up behind and then goes behind the ABS module into this really dark area that you can't see. It's once you find it, it's pretty straightforward, but it's just a matter of getting in there. It's kind of a tight fit, but once you're in, it's not too terribly bad. A little messy, but not a horrible job. So let me go ahead and bleed it and button things up. Okay, I found a different light. See if I give you guys a better view of where that clutch line goes in. So this top hose here, this hose here is the this hose right here is the feed line from your brake reservoir. Uses the same hydraulic fluid, and then right underneath it, right there, that's where the clutch line hose goes. And so again, you just pull that little, you see that little metal spring clip, kind of where that black part is, and you pull it towards your driver's side. If you're in the US, it pulls out and kind of locks in the open position, so you don't yank too hard. Just pull it, you'll hear it click, and then you can kind of push down on the brake, on the clutch cable. And again, when you pull it up, it'll you gotta pop it, kind of clicks into place. And once you do that, kind of hold it there and then push that spring clip back in to lock it in place, and just give it a quick tug, make sure it's seated properly. Then you come all the way over here, underneath the engine mount again, and it goes right into there. That's the new bleeder block, aluminum bleeder block. Again, and I bought all this stuff. None of this was sponsored. And I just finished bleeding it. So I'm gonna put everything back and then go take it for a quick test ride. And then I'll see if I can get you guys some better pictures in the morning. But that's pretty much it. This is a job that I've always wanted to do. It's, you know, since I was in here changing out these bushings, I had to change this whole mechanism, pull from a different junkyard car because my car's too old, didn't have the right style bushings on it in order to use these Delrin bushings. So I did that, did the cable mount bushings in Delrin, and that was a pretty simple job. I did that on an earlier video, and so I wanted to finish it off with replacing these clutch lines with stainless steel. So now I've got stainless steel brake lines, stainless steel clutch lines. Hopefully won't have to do this job again for a long time. So let me button everything back up. Okay, so this is the stuff that I took off the car. So you can see this is the OEM bleeder block. It's plastic, which they say, I guess, flexes a little bit for performance applications. And then here's the OEM cable. So this went in on this side, and that goes to the slave. And then this has this extra, I guess somebody calls it a snail gear or something. It's just supposed to, I guess, make it easier, more comfortable to push in the clutch. So anyway, this is the stuff that came out of the car. I went for a test drive. I didn't feel a whole lot of difference in the clutch using it. So, you know, it's stuff's 20 years old, so it's probably worth changing. But I don't know if it was worth the extra cost. I guess it didn't cost that much more to put in the aluminum block and the stainless steel clutch line. But hopefully I won't have to do it again. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. All right, so I just got back from taking this Audi TT on a test ride after replacing the clutch cable and the bleeder block. And I guess the clutch pedal feels a little stiffer, but the shifter, I don't know that it's that much different than it was before. But using the Delrin bushings, you know, it's kind of a fix it and forget it type thing. But I wouldn't say it's any firmer than it was before. But, you know, I think I could have replaced it with the OEM rubber bushings and it would feel about this level. But definitely feels like I can find first a lot better, a lot easier than I could before. And the pedal does feel a little firmer. Using that new bleeder block, stainless steel or aluminum bleeder block, metal bleeder block, and the stainless steel clutch hose, it does make the clutch pedal feel a little firmer. Not heavy, just firmer than it was before. I don't think that the shifts were any faster than it was before, but that just could just be my driving style. But overall, I think, you know, pretty happy with the results. You know, cost-wise, I don't think that the Delrin bushings were that much more than the OEM rubber bushings, and so because you could reuse the end links and just pop out the bushing, versus if you bought the OEM version, you'd have to buy the whole end link. So, you know, overall, pretty happy. Anyway, thanks for watching.